Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I want to share something with you guys about motivation today. I'm reading a book called Limitless by Jim Kwik. Jim Kwik is a memory expert, a learning expert, a learning coach. He's famous for his acronyms and alliterations and things that he uses, which is actually, I think, a memory tool or something that makes things easier to remember, obviously. Before I get into a couple of those, I'm going to actually start with the definition of the word motivation that Jim uses in his book, Limitless. This is how he ends the chapter, but I'm going to start, I should say this is how he ends the chapter on purpose and motivation. But I'm going to start this video with this definition because this is what stood out to me probably the most in that chapter, along with a couple of these other things I'm going to talk about. I wrote down here, motivation is a set of habits and routines guided by your values and your identity that you live by every day. Motivation is a set of habits and routines guided by your values and your identity that you live by every day. Jim talks about motivation as a verb more than a noun. It's not something that you just end up with or something that you just have. It's something that you do. And that ties into purpose, and that ties into goals. Jim uses the alliteration head, heart, hand. Basically, if you want to do something, if you want to set a goal, if you want to, execute a plan, you've got to have that plan strong in your head, in your heart, and obviously in your hands. He uses acronyms for everything. Head, he uses the acronym SMART. When you're setting a goal, we've all heard about SMART goals. SMART stands for S, SMART. S is for specific. I actually wrote the wrong thing down here in my notes. S is for specific. You're setting a specific goal. You're not just saying, I'm going to lose weight. You're saying, I'm going to lose, 10 pounds, or I'm going to gain 10 pounds if you're building muscle, or, you're not saying, I'm going to be rich. You're saying, I'm going to make a specific amount of money, whatever your goal might be. Measurable. Again, you can actually measure. Money is easy. Weight is easy if you own a scale, right? Those kind of things. A is for actionable. It has to be an actionable item. You have to be able to assign some actions to that goal, right? R is for realistic. This is the part of SMART goals that I actually hate. I don't think realistic is the best adjective that you should use to describe your goals. I think that setting goals in general is about growing into the person who can achieve something. So it might not seem realistic to you right now, but there's a desire and a purpose behind it, which ties into HEART, which is the next acronym that Jim uses. But SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and the T is for time-based. So basically set a deadline. There's a quote out there, a goal is a dream with a deadline. So you set your specific goals, you have it in your head, but that doesn't necessarily, put it in your hands, right? It doesn't necessarily make you want to get out there and start taking those actions if you don't hold that goal in your heart. So this is where Jim talks about purpose. He talks about, he actually talks about another book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which is a good book, but he uses an acronym for HEART: healthy, enduring, alluring, relevant, and truth. H, healthy, make your goals contribute to your greater well-being, whether it's your physical, mental, whatever type of health. It could be financial health. It could be, again, physical health, fitness, that kind of things. Your goals should be enduring, enduring. They should sustain you. Alluring, they should excite you, they should pull you in, right? Again, this is the passion and the purpose. This is the heart of the head, heart, hand when it comes to goal setting and motivation. R is relevant. It should be, relevant. T is truth, which I think kind of ties in with relevant, but that just means it's true to you, right? This should be truthfully something that you hold in your heart, not just something that everybody else is doing so you feel like you have to do it. A lot of people set their SMART goals around what other people are doing. They get their head into it, but their heart's not in it because it's not true. It's not relevant. If it's not true or relevant, it's probably not going to be very enduring or alluring. It might be healthy, but again, you got to start with why and think about that purpose. Think about your passions. Jim talks about how, purpose and passion are two different things. They're often used interchangeably, but most people, if you really sit down and think about it, you know what the difference is. You might have a passion that's not your purpose. My passion might be talking about real estate, but I don't think my purpose in life is to, I don't think God put me in this world to talk about real estate for, 80 years. But I have a greater purpose, and real estate could be one of those passions along with, a few other things. Identify your passion and your purpose, and identify with your passion and your purpose. There's another kind of story in the book about a survey that was done of people, and they said, "Are you going to vote?" And people said yes or no. And they said, "How important is it to you to be a voter?" And the people that identified as voters, when they went back and looked at the actual, public records or whatever, people that identified as voters were more likely to have actually voted than the people who just said, "Yes, I'm going to vote," but they didn't identify with it. It wasn't important to them. So that's just one example. Again, I'm just going to wrap this up with that definition for motivation. Again, motivation is a set of habits and routines guided by your values and your identity that you live by every day. So hope you guys have some motivation today and throughout the week. Go out there and get your goals. I know that's what I'm working on. That's why I'm sharpening the axe here on Monday morning with the workout, with the reading, taking notes, and shooting this video. I hope it'll do something